G'day, hi and welcome. Alright, sailboat update. It's been weeks since, 2 or 3 weeks almost since I've been working on this thing. There was rain and I was occupied with the motorcycle. Got that new little hobby farm job that I'm doing. And I'll just let you guys know, this is no longer a sailboat. This is an easy bake oven because I'm easy and I'm being baked alive in here because it is very hot in here. But we'll get some air flowing through here and maybe I'll be able to breathe again or something like that. That would be nice. A study just showed, and I kid you not, this is good, you're going to laugh at this, but they just found a study that showed that oxygen, being able to breathe oxygen affected your health. Okay, breathing was affecting your health. So, yeah, just so you know that. So, railing one up, there's the update. Now here's, I did this, you could see there's no water, and it's been storming like crazy. No water, nice and dry, so the holes are plugged in. But I got to do something else. But boy, does that ever take away the rigidity of the trunk cabin? Does that ever make a big difference? And this side, I just did this side. This railing, the other side came off really slick, but this side, and I'm going to show you a little lesson of why you do not buy cheap stainless. And here's the typical bolt that came out. Not bad looking, eh? Stainless coated. But let me show you, there was 3 monsters I had to deal with on this side that was really bad. And where'd it go? They ran away on me. That's not possible. Where'd you go? Why'd you do that to me? First I'm getting easy baked, and now my things have ran away on me. Oh, I know where they are. Okay, so the good news is I got that railing off. The bad news, I freaking broke it. And I'll tell you why. There. That's what happens when you put cheap stainless on stuff. I had to saw through this one, which was, I think this one here, without scratching up the boat. I did okay. It was hard to get the, and then of course I busted this one. And I took a big chip. So I don't know, I might be able to resurrect this railing. I am a carpenter. But that's completely rusted out. It's the same galvanized, stainless coated bolt as this, but the coating somehow came off of those 2 bolts and they rusted in there. And you can see that's exactly where it was leaking. No, it was stuck on this one, but you can see where it was leaking there. You can see where it was leaking here. So this one was good, this one's good. That was actually good even though the bolt was bad. A little bit of seepage there. Not too bad, a little bit of seepage there. You can definitely tell seepage there. A little bit of seepage there, a little bit of seepage, definitely leaking, So you can see that that's where that mildew comes from, that mildew type of thing. So when I fix these, I mean, I don't know what the fate of this boat's going to be. Will it ever go in the water again? I don't know. I'll be probably 85 years old before I have the money to put this thing in the water. If I get the right money for it, yeah, I would sell it. But there's a part of me, because it's bought and paid for, I don't want to sell it too. But I could use the money. And it is a lot of upkeep. Look at all the weeds and stuff like that. Where did that come from? You know, I'm 9 feet in the deck. That's 9 feet in the air, and there's still friggin' leaves in there. It's like, leaves, you stay on the ground. It's not even a fall yet. Anyway, a little bit cranky today because I'm not really cranky. I'm just, I think that's just my normal self. But anyway, point is that when I fix these, you can't see right through because I got them covered on the other side temporarily. But what I am going to do so that this never happens again is I'm going to take some tips from other people that have done some really great stuff. When you're doing your deck hardware, so you got something like this, you can see the outer hull trunk, raised trunk, the outer hull, and you can see the inner hull here of the raised trunk. And you can tell that there's no moisture there. It's pretty good. It would be a good idea to get, before you patch these things up, is get one of those suction cups to see if you can pull any water out of it, because there probably is water in there. There's no doubt. If the water got this far, it went in here somewhere, and it might be sitting in here, might be sitting down in here. That's just, I mean, a boat this old, I mean, that's going to be par for the course. But what I'm going to do is completely fill these holes in with epoxy rosin mix, and then re-drill them out. And if I re-drill them out, what will happen is that there'll be like it'll be almost like it'll be the same concept of going through a solid block, where that if it were ever to leak again, or you get another this problem again. What it will happen, quite simply, is that the water will just go around the bolt. It won't seep off into there. So fill these holes up and then re-drill them through a fresh thing. And what you're going to try to do is like fill the inside of this hole about that much. You're going to have to dig it out a bit so that you have a whole thing of filler in there of fiberglass that's in there permanent, so that now you're making a hole through a piece of, it's like going through a washer or something like that, so that the water can never leak inside in between the hole again. Just a little tip I picked up from somebody else. I don't quite have the materials to do it all. I could probably do it, but I want to make sure I have more than enough material, because it's one of those things, once you start it, you want to be able to finish it. So what you're going to do is get your screw, your drill, put like a nail in it or whatever, bend it a little bit, or you can get a tool that'll do it. It'll just knurl it out on the inside. The idea is not to make the hole bigger, but just to kind of inside to give some meat for the epoxy and fiberglass to do that. And then on top of that, you do your normal sealing procedures. So this railing came off, no problem. It was the nice railing. But this railing did a whoop-de-doo on me, and that wasn't supposed to happen like that. If you're wondering about the black tape, that was my temporary hole sealing so that it wouldn't swell up anymore. But that's not as bad as it looks. Yes, I could just replace this railing, but you got to think of the cost of these railings. This is an old railing. So what happened when I was flexing it, I tapped it to see if I could get away with it, and I broke that chip off there, and then this just went. I guess that's where it was loose. So maybe I have to replace the railing, but it's nearly $200 to replace these stupid railings. So here's how you fix it. Drill hole, make dowel, glue together, bind it beyond belief, exactly the way it was. So I'm not, like put it back together exactly the way it was. So you drill the holes together, you dowel it together like so. So there's maybe a small dowel there, maybe a small dowel there, and then of course as much Lepageur's glue to cement it in there as much as possible. Sand the crap out of it, put in some wood filler, refinish it. Bob's your uncle. Now these inner ones, are going to redo these two. Why not? I mean, they still look good, but I'm going to go with the new polyethylene look. I don't know. It'll look a little bit better. Oh, what's this? Is that wet? Oh, I got water coming in somewhere here. Now, where did that come in from? This is why you do your deck hardware about once every 5 years, whatever. There's always that little mystery coming in from somewhere. Maybe it did come in this hole, so I'll have to check the deck out again, because you don't want any, get them all the leakums. It takes a while. Water always follows the path of least resistance. So that's the update to the boat. I don't know when I'm going to get to it all. Hopefully I'm going to get a lot done this week. Depends how much work I got to do. But yeah, otherwise everything went well on this side. But my other option too is if I'm going to replace the railings, I'm going to go with stainless. I know I love the wood. It looks so good when it's finished and everything like that. I just did the companionway partitions there, doodadders, and yeah, it looks great. But wood is a lot of work, and stainless never rots. You know what I mean? It might get fragile over 50 or 60 years, but by that time, I'm probably going to be worm food anyway. I mean, or I'll be like 100 years old. I'm not going to give a shit about it when I'm 100 years old. Like, at that point, if this thing's going to outlast me anyway. It's a fiberglass boat. Mind you, as long as you keep the maintenance up on it. So there's always work to do. I would love to get this thing back in the water again. It would all, like everything, it all takes money. But that's where I am on the railings. I will finish them up anyway. Sand them down is going to take, they look horrible right now, but when I sand them down, it's going to take me 15 minutes probably per side, and maybe let it sit for a week with the dowels in it and the Lepageur's on. And if I could fix that railing, maybe I'll just put it back on for now. But then, if I can fill in those holes like I want, there's no rush to get the railing on it. I mean, it's not like the thing's going in the water next year, but these are like time projects. But that's the risk you take of taking things off that haven't been. And I blame nobody else for the neglect. You should really probably inspect these things. Probably, if I would have inspected these things every 2 years, chances are those bolts wouldn't have rusted like that and swolled up in the wood, and then I wouldn't have broke the railing taking it off. Plus, it wouldn't have dry rotted the wood as much. But I'll just show you something what I'm talking about here. This is actually not that bad. So look at the wood. That is very dried wood. That's not rotted wood. It's just when I whacked on that side with the hammer, maybe it sent the vibration, and that's why it cracked. It's almost too dry if you look at it. Like it didn't break because it was rotten. It broke because it was too dry. Strangely enough. I mean, these things are pretty fragile anyway. You know, it was. I took a gamble and I lost. You know, teak is a very hard wood. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. So there you go. That's what's happening. And yeah, so I'm gonna make a couple of videos in here, and this nice easy bake oven. Sorry, Sailboat. And yeah, there we go. Have yourselves a great day. Eh? Oh, make sure you hit that subscribe button to follow what happens with the Hughes 26 here, the random. That's what I call my nice, you know, 1970. I love this thing. It works-ish. I gotta fix it. I gotta fix it. Everything I got is broken, breaking down, or about to break. But I got this. This is in fathoms. Yar, maybe. I mean, the big giant squid is at 400 fathoms. Yar. There be sea monsters, yar. But when I get to fixing this thing is really cool. It has a diode that goes around. So it just like, you see this like little spinning kind of diode, and it lights it up to whatever depth you're at there. It's really cool. I love this Cro-Magnon kind of analog stuff. I don't know. Even though I got a digital one over there. But this is the cool one. Yeah. So I'll get to that eventually, but that's very low on the list. For now, Burnhams, Leakums, and Sinkums. And oh, look at that. Always feel like I'm in a rum barrel. An old rum barrel. Love the teak in here. Just beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, there we go. Have yourselves a great day.